Good morning, folks, wherever you are out there. Welcome. You are listening to the Charge Life podcast. I am Joseph Barletta, and this is where we discuss EVs and all things EV charging. So glad you could pull over and park with us today. Let's get plugged in. Hey, look, today's episode is all about the Dwalt LEVel 48 amp Home EV Charger. We've never opened it up before. We actually never installed one before. I know they debuted back in like 2023, and for the most part, it's a pretty basic charger, but there are a lot of other chargers out there that are, kind of same price point, but also offer a lot more like energy management features and a lot more prominent features. But I wanted to share this one with you today because I just think it looks cool. So look, before we begin today's episode, brought to you by Smart Charge America. Since 2007, Smart Charge America has been installing tens of thousands of EV charging stations all across the country, residential, commercial service. You basically just let our team of expert installation specialists install and guide you to the best EV charging solution there is. And like I said, if you can't charge, you can't drive. So visit smartchargeamerica.com today to get started. All right, so let's look at the Dwalt. This is kind of an unboxing. We don't do it very often, but if we do, we're gonna do it. So take the cowboy hat off. And I'll put my Smart Charge America hat on. Oh, that's a little tight. Some people's heads are just bigger than others. What can I say? So, all right. Here we go. Ooh, that's a little loose. Maybe it's not that big. See that? All right. So, let's take a look at it. Let's break this bad boy open. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'll try to stay in camera. Like I said, we don't do it very often, but it's worth it. Let's see here. Let's make this bad boy opens up. Looking pretty good. Spin it around. So charger. Installation manual, pretty good. They're trying to introduce the steps to basically get into their ecosystem on their charger app, which is nice. I like the kind of the font here. Our logo font is Handel Gothic. It was an older font. I don't even know if it exists anymore, but that was our company's font that we came up with and decided to use way back in the day. This thing is compared to like everything compares to the Tesla wall connector, of course, the Gen 3 wall connector. So it's not too bad. I mean, it's well built. The cable itself is actually heavier than the unit. The unit is, it's a good 3-4 pounds, maybe 5. Cabling is a lot heavier than that. Let's see here. Look at the actual connector itself. I never really like these covers, but I get it. If you're going to be outdoor, why not? They kind of last long. I do like the fact that this J1772 connector, of course, as the industry shifts over from J1772 to the NAC standard, this is going to be obsolete, so they're going to have to change and make sure that they get a NACS connector for the charger itself. But very robust. This is a contentious point on a lot of the EV chargers over time. As it goes in, I do like the fact that it doesn't stick out as much. You're looking at maybe about 8 to 10 inches from the car. Some of the connectors, like this part, is a little bit longer, and so it basically just sticks out of the car like this. You got like 12 inches, and you're constantly hitting it on the side if you have a tight garage and you're trying to get around. But I do like the nub here. It's very much shorter. I love that. I really do like it. My guys use Milwaukee out in the field. I'm more of a Makita guy, but I do have some guys that use DeWalt. Honestly, I love the color. Just overall, the grip, there's a little bit of extra grip here. I do like that. This is also grippy as well. The yellow is not, it's more plastic, but the black is definitely rubberized. You can tell that. really good grip. Do like the actual aesthetics of the unit. I'll tell you that when you're mounting this bad boy and you're putting it on the wall, by sticking this in, of course we're going to take that off. It definitely clicks in, but the most important part is as it's on your wall, you can see that this factor here only sticks out, you know, a good 3 to 4 inches, which I really like. You know, they didn't have the swivel ball like the ChargePoint home unit does, but you know, this being bracketed onto your wall, I just like the overall feel of it. Pretty cool. Price point, this bad boy, 48 amps, hardwired is what you want. Ran us about $5.99, tax, title, and license, and shipping. Came out to be about like $5.78, $5.72. So keep that in mind. Sorry, $6.78, $6.72, off of a $5.99 unit. I do like it. Looks like you got a little LED screen here, which is nice. Probably tells you, you know, charging stats and kind of status and everything else, which is really good. You don't want to be completely blinded. Looks like they have a pigtail here for a pigtail, which is a plug-in option. You don't really want to do a plug-in if you can absolutely avoid it. Definitely try to. What else? Coming here with the bracket. Looks like there's a mounting bracket, which I do like. Do prefer the mounting brackets to where you're basically just running. You're putting this on the wall, and then you're attaching and securing this thing. But honestly, once we run our circuit and we bolt this bad boy to the wall, like you're not moving it. So, but it does. You got a couple screws here. It does bode well for, and they give you the materials to, you know, tighten things up. It does bode well for like kind of, I guess, easy installation if you're and uninstall, right? But the electrical, you have to disassemble and do all of that. But this bracket should be able to come off the wall with the unit, so forth and so on. The reason why I do like this is because, let's say you're in an apartment complex, or let's say you have like a small condo, and you want to be able to provide EV charging for all of your customers. And let's say you have, you know, a smaller townhome condo, and it's got 12 units, and there's 24 parking spaces. Well, you can actually do this. You can actually run circuits to each one of your brackets, and just basically put a J box right here. Run all your circuits to the J boxes and attach the brackets all alongside the wall, and just have the brackets there with the electrical in place. So therefore, if you get a resident who actually has an EV and they want to put charging stations in, great. You already have one of these bad boys in the back. You just hang it. We'll come in, tie everything in, connect, and now that unit gets an EV charger. So you can, the bracketing allows you to have things, kind of easily better aligned and in place without you having to actually put in 12 EV chargers and all of that stuff. Just run the infrastructure and put the bracket in place. And then as customers come, you'll be able to do that. So I do like it. It's, I love the build quality, actually. Honestly, I just love the look of it. Very much well built. This is hard. You can tell it's got some power electronics in, but it's well built. I love the handle. You can hang stuff on there, maybe some of your accessories, some of your adapters. But all in all, I'm impressed. I like it. Like I said, cost-wise, you're looking, if I were to rate the cost, somewhere between, it is $5.99, so tax, title, and license, you're probably going to be around $6.72 because you have to pay for shipping and tax and so forth and so on. It could vary depending on where you're at. So that is definitely, it does have a 3-year warranty with it, so we like that. Tesla wall connectors have 4-year warranty, but majority of the EV chargers out there, they will be supported with a 3-year warranty. But you want to make sure you find out from your manufacturer. This is basically when you purchase it. So the 3-year starts upon the date that you purchase it, not the date that it actually installs. So when we see things like that, we typically will only like kind of cook to order these, where we'll order them on a kind of as needed basis. So we won't actually stock these, because when we purchase them from Dwalt, that's when like they may sit on our shelves for 6 months or a year, and all of a sudden now you have a 2-year warranty on the product instead of 3 years. And so if the manufacturer is going to do that and support 3 years upon the purchase date and not 3 years upon the installation date and the activity date where we commission it, then that's what we typically do to get around those situations. But I do like it. I mean, look, if you're a strong Dwalt tool loyal user, and you have a bunch of Dwalt branded, I mean, I would get this in a heartbeat. I love it. Honestly, when it comes to home charging, you just want something reliable that just works. You don't need all the fancy gadgets and widgets and gadgets and features and all that stuff. They're nice if you're running into like load share and energy management issues, and but for a start out, this is great. I love the little short J1772 connector nose that it has on there. I do like it, if you want to call that a nose. Power and construction wise, I'd give it it's pretty up there. It's definitely well built. It's overbuilt, I think, on the cabling. Tesla uses a slightly thinner cable cladding, and I would say weighs less. Honestly, as depending on your charging port and how far your actual charger is, you're gonna have to be doing cable management every single time you charge the car. So for me, I like to put this bad boy right next, as I park my car in the garage. Man, I'm trying to put my charging station right next to the charging door, so that way I just basically almost loop it once and then boom, charge. If I have to sit there and coil it every single time, the cabling itself is kind of cladded, so you're having to constantly, almost like a hose, you're trying to like turn it, and it's a pain. It's an unnecessary pain. So and the weight of the cable also is there. So we try to always tell our customers, look, depending on your parking parameters, where you park, how you park, we're gonna put this bad boy on the wall to where you're doing the least amount of cable management as possible. You basically take it off, unloop it, plug it in, take it out, loop it back, plug it in, connect it there, and everything should be fine. So I think power-wise, construction, you get 48 amps and it's a good deal. So I do like that. I'd give it a 9, 8.5 for the cable. I think if that cable was a lot thinner, and to be able to hold, of course, still the 60 amps, 48 amps continuous, I think we'd be in a lot better shape. I don't mind this being rugged and thicker and well built, but when it comes to the actual part that you're going to be using, you want to make sure that that's thin, that's light, that's a little bit more malleable, easier to use cable management wise. So for that, I give it a ding on the I guess it's just overbuilt, which is a good thing for you, I guess, because you want something nice. So other than that, guys, if you can, go ahead and click the thumbs up icon, share, comment, subscribe to our channel. We'd love your support. Testing wise, we haven't gotten into testing it real world wise, but I would imagine it's somewhere, it's overbuilt. So I'd imagine it's going to test pretty good on those parameters. Intelligence wise, it's got the screen and the display here, so it's not highly intelligent. It may offer, like Bluetooth start capabilities, maybe from your app. You may be able to schedule charging through the app. Probably energy monitoring. You can monitor the energy, real-time status. It does come with firmware updates, but you're not going to be able to like load share, power share dynamically, connect maybe 4 of these inside of a giant garage and share all the same power on the same circuit. You're not going to be able to do that with this, unfortunately. But I do love the look, man. I love that yellow. Yellow's my favorite color, so I love the yellow. Other than that, but it's basic function. It's no advanced load sharing, like I said, but it'll get you where you need to go, and so that's why I do like it. So buy it. Look, if you want, I bought it. I like it. I might just keep it in the office museum just to look at it, because I love the look. I actually love the look. And it's really good to see Dwalt in the space. I'd like to see Makita following. I'd like to see the Milwaukees of the world following. I think they would have a really good presence, especially with electrical contractors out there installing these bad boys. They just they would be able to do it. The problem is that Dwalt, this isn't Dwalt's baby. Like Dwalt, this is most likely a manufacturer that Dwalt is basically white labeling with. And you know, they're not themselves manufacturing this. This isn't all DeWalt does, right? So, but I do like it. I love it. So, it's bottom line. It's a very capable 48 amp charger. The industry has moved from 32 amps continuous to 48 amps continuous, and that's what this provides. 48 amps continuous to the vehicles. All the vehicles now these days, they take 48 amps. Some of the legacy vehicles, they're limited. They may take only 32 or 40. But most of them take 48. So you're not starving the vehicle, you're giving the vehicle exactly what they need here. Look, guys, thank you so much to our listeners and subscribers. I mean, this is it. It's a charger. It does what it needs to do. Appreciate you taking the time and being here with us for this unveiling. It's really nice. Maybe we'll do more of it. If you guys liked it, comment, subscribe, let us know if you like it or not. But like I said, you can see the dimensions. The unit itself is pretty light. Yeah, I'll share the dimensions and kind of the specs inside the show's notes. But other than that, yeah, we appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you guys learned a little something today. I learned a little something by this, so I definitely appreciate you guys being there with us. We love you guys. We can't do this without you, so we definitely appreciate the support. Again, click the thumbs up icon, share, comment, subscribe below if you can, if you think our channel deserved it. Thanks again for charging up with us today. Keep us in mind if you can always find us at smartchargeramerica.com. And remember, folks, if you can't charge, you can't drive. We'll see you next time. Cheers.